On today's show, Luka Doncic proves that he's coming back to the Dallas Mavericks for sure. But when will he do it? Just kidding. We're talking about AD trades today.
This is Cooper Flagg, and you're listening to Locked On Mavs.
Nick, that's a good question. Good morning, Isaac.
You are Locked On Mavs.
Great,
Your daily Dallas Mavericks podcast.
No one's dying.
Part of the Locked On Podcast Network.
Still can't leave you.
Your team every day.
I'm going to get a city like that.
And welcome. You're locked on to the Dallas Mavericks, your team every day. My name is Nick Angstadt, media member covering the Mavs for 10 years. Thanks for being in every day or making Locked On Mavs your first listen to Making Locked On Podcast Network, the number one sports podcast network out there. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Right now, new customers can bet just $5 if the bet wins. You get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. Head to FanDuel.com to get started. Joining me, as always, my co-host, media member covering the Mavs for 10 years, right alongside me, the drip drop dude, the one we're thinking. What you got for me, Isaac Harris?
It's another day, another dollar, but it's a new era for the Mavs. It's fun.
Moving forward, things are happening.
I mean, it's a loss. They still lost the other night, but
3-9. We'll see what happens in this next game. But yeah, it's a new era. Things are happening. I did one more thing, a bonus episode on the Mark Stein story. You've got one coming out about what you think is going to happen with the GM search and all that. And so we've got all kinds of stuff here. But today we're going to talk.
I just want to shout out real quick. The small amount of people out there that believe that Nico Harrison is a scapegoat.
You mean Charles Barkley?
I need people to like be in my corner like that. That I can say it. With that, this is what I want to do. Everyone around me can say this is what I did. And like every reporting angle possible has said it. And yet they're still like, you know what? He just did it because he was told to. It's not his fault. Just a shout out. I want that copium.
I'll be in your corner like that. That's just me.
Thank you.
I'll just be fighting on. Today's episode, we're going through a bunch of Anthony Davis trades. Isaac went to the trade machine like he does best and came up with a bunch of deals. I got a couple deals that I saw people posting. Some of them we really like, some of them we really hate, and some of them are gonna make you queasy because the Mavs are not getting requisite value for this Anthony Davis thing. And let's start here because this whole thing about this Anthony Davis trade, we talked about it on the bonus show yesterday. There's been no push from Anthony Davis's camp as of now, according to Mark Stein, for him that he wants to be traded at this point. That doesn't mean that he doesn't want to. That doesn't mean that the Mavs won't do it. It just means that he hasn't pushed for one yet. If he started to push for one, I think that hurts the Mavericks' leverage. I think that all of a sudden puts them in a situation like the Heat with Jimmy Butler and some other recent situations. And so I think Mavs fans need to prepare themselves. They're not going to get the package that is equivalent to Luka Doncic, right? Like absolutely not. And there's just so many different other layers to this kind of trade, Isaac.
Go ahead and get ready. Prepare yourself for the tweets that will be like, the Mavericks traded Luka Doncic for Andrew Wiggins, a first round pick, and like, oh, glasses over there. It's just, I can already see the tweets now of people will take whatever the package is for AD and be like, that's what they got for Luka. And it'll be incredible tweets. People like, that'll be the ultimate engagement farming for those tweets. But no, I think right now AD's camp's probably just waiting for the Mavericks to hire someone to determine the direction they're going to go.
Yeah.
And once that direction is set, then I think we'll see the fallout from that. Assuming that whoever the new person is going to say, hey, we're going to slow this approach down and kind of do a little mini tear down here to focus on Cooper, considering our start to the season and all this stuff. I think that's when we'll get hey, they're going to work with AD's camp to find a new home. I think the only reason we haven't heard it now is there still hope for some that whoever this new person is going to be in win now mode still. And then two, you don't get the full offers from everybody until December 15th. And that's about a month from now, because then that's when everybody's on the table at that point, for the most part, of anybody who is signed over the offseason is eligible to be traded. So even if he was wanting out right now, you don't get the full packages from some of these teams out there because not everybody's eligible to be traded.
Yeah. And so Now there's some other layers to this with the aprons, with the players that can come back. Like there's a bunch of different other things that the Mavs have to consider with this deal. So it does become more complicated. You can't just grab a team and say, all right, well they should want Anthony Davis. Now let's get the Celtics in on this. The Celtics cannot probably can't do a trade for Anthony Davis that didn't have like Tatum in it.
Yeah. So the Mavericks they're capped at the first apron. So to be capped at the first apron, one of the restrictions whenever you're looking at trades is you can't take back any more salary in a trade. So it doesn't matter if it is $500,000 over whenever you're trying to match up. Yeah. Trying to match up money coming back in a trade. You can't go over. You're hard capped at that first apron. So that's one of like the penalties is in trades. You can't take back more money. So the Mavericks are capped at the first apron. Then you look at another thing. You're like, all right, well, if that restriction is set for the Mavs, who are the other first apron teams? Because if you're another first apron team in the league that has the same restriction as the Mavs, then that means you got to match up dollar for dollar, almost exact, which is dang near impossible. So good luck with that. So you say, who's the next, or who are the other first apron teams? Besides Dallas, it's 4 other teams: Golden State, Minnesota, Boston, and Toronto. The laggy beam.
I hit it too fast the second time it turned it.
So not that it's impossible for Golden State, Minnesota, Boston, and Toronto, but it's pretty dang hard because both of the teams would be first capped to the first apron. Both of them have that restriction of you got to match dollar for dollar.
Thank you, CJ McCollum.
The 2 teams that is really difficult are the 2 teams in the second apron, which are the Cleveland Cavaliers and the New York Knicks. This is according to Spotrac. So they can't combine salaries. They can't aggregate salaries together. Cleveland can't take 2 players and trade it for AD. They can't do that. This is why Cleveland's out on like LeBron stuff, because they can't combine a bunch of players to trade for LeBron. Same thing with New York. You can't package some of those salaries together to move in a deal. So you say all of that to say those are some of the restrictions at play. So for Dallas to make a move with AD and you're getting multiple players back, then you got to look at all the other teams out there, or it could be a first apron team, but you got to match up. I mean, it's impossible to put 2 players together to match up exactly 54.1 or whatever it is for AD. So you're probably looking at all 6 of those teams off the board: Golden State, Minnesota, Boston, Toronto, Cleveland, New York Knicks. 6 teams, sayonara. With the exception of if for some reason, if you wanted to do dollar for dollar, Jimmy Butler has almost the dang same amount of money, like exactly right at it.
Same, yep. So
you could do the 1-for-1 swap there.
So does Giannis and so does Tatum.
Don't know if that one's happening, but
not holding your breath on either of those.
So you're looking at the other teams. You take those 6 teams plus Dallas at 7. That gives you 23 other teams that you go to, and you're like, all right, what are we working with here? And then you can start breaking down the teams from there. As far as like, if you're working with Rich Paul and Clutch, then you're assuming that he's not going to want to go to a Washington or even like a Charlotte. You're assuming he's probably at this point in his career, he wants to go to like a win now team, preferably maybe a bigger city. And I think there's some options out there for that.
Give me your favorite one. I know you got one that you're just holding on, that you're ready to just, this is the trade that is your favorite one.
I said it last week when we were talking on the pod. I'm like, the one team that you're probably calling the most that I don't think you're either side's hanging up right now is Chicago. There's just so many different layers to it. Obviously, it's his hometown. The spot in AD's career now I could see. I mean, Chicago is a massive sports city. So you get the big city element for a team you're going to. You're going to the East that is kind of wide open. On a personal note for AD, outside of it being his hometown, man, it would be nice to go somewhere that is like loving that you're playing with their team. I've hated the situation for him in Dallas that this is the first time and only time in his entire life that he's playing basketball somewhere to where he hasn't been 100% like beloved from, as far as when he like comes into play. And it's just the situation he was dealt into, but he would be that in Chicago. And you look at the spot Chicago's in, they started off great to the season. They've lost, I think, like 3 games in a row now. Yeah. But like they've been stuck in this mediocrity forever. Like they've been going for this like play-in spot forever. And now here's a chance for them. They have some contracts. You can keep a lot of the players that have been helping you like start the season good, like a Josh Giddey or Io or Buzelis. Like you can still keep some of your young pieces and some guys that's helping you like start good while also swinging for an Anthony Davis and be like, dude, the East is wide open. Let's add AD to this. Let's bring him home. And like, we haven't signed a player like this in I don't know how long. So, and on Dallas's side, I think there's everything on the table. They have so many picks that you can play around with in a negotiation. They have a guy in Kobe White that we've talked about how much we love. He hasn't played this season yet. I think he's about to come back in the near future. But he's a guard. He's a big guard. He could play with Kyrie. If they decide to move on from Kyrie, he would be a point guard replacement. He's also on an expiring contract. And they have Kobe White, Kevin Huerter, Vucevic. That all three of those guys together, you could trade for Anthony Davis. And all three of those guys are expiring contracts. So let's say you get those three. And then like, could you get 2 picks out of it? Probably not. Maybe 1. And it's like, all right, I'm just being honest. Like
I know the trade being Kobe White, Vucevic, Kevin Huerter, all expiring contracts, plus like 1 first-round pick.
Yeah.
Is the trade for Anthony Davis. And you go, all right, that plus Max Christie and another first-round pick equals Luka Doncic. That's the thing that's going to get people's blood boiling. But coming up, let's talk about why a trade like this actually makes sense for the Mavericks going forward, why it would be good for them, and some other deals that the Mavs could do coming up. Today's episode of Locked On Mavs brought to you by new sponsor alert. Drip Drop. When I'm hydrated, everything just works better. The show, my focus, energy, mood, even my skin works better. That's why I've been using Drip Drop. I got a cup of it right here. It's doctor-developed hydration that keeps me running at full power no matter what my day looks like. Drip Drop isn't your average sports drink. It delivers 3 times the electrolytes and half the sugar. There is like not much sugar in this at all. 3 times the electrolytes of a normal sports drink. And all you have to do is just take one of these little packets. Take one of these little packets and just put it in 8 ounces of water, and they taste delicious. I got the variety pack, and the watermelon is very good. The peach is very good, and lemon lime was my least favorite. Lemon lime is my least favorite, but I still like the peach, the passion fruit, and the watermelon for sure. There's all kinds of difference. Isaac got completely different flavors in his package. There's
berries.
All kinds of different ones you can get. Right now, Drip Drop is offering podcast listeners 20% off your first order. Go to dripdrop.com and use that promo code LOCKEDONNBA. It's all one word, LOCKEDONNBA, for 20% off your first order. That's dripdrop.com. Promo code LOCKEDONNBA to get hydration, 3 times the electrolytes, and half the sugar into your water right now. Stock up now before the heat hits hard and keep your body and mind performing at their best with Drip Drop. Also brought to you by Wayfair. Talk about getting things ready. How about getting your house, your home, your apartment, whatever, ready for the holidays? Isaac, do you guys have any kind of Christmas decorations up?
Oh, we're about to this weekend. So
you're
ready.
a before Thanksgiving Christmas person.
Thanksgiving's overrated.
One of the best holidays we have. I do also have Christmas stuff up here at my house, but you can get all kinds of stuff at Wayfair. They have the Black Friday sale here to make your space exactly what you need all month long, up to 70% off everything from sofas to spatulas. Get the stuff at Wayfair. I've gotten tons of things at Wayfair. I've gotten nightstands. I've got a drink cabinet. I've gotten chairs. I've gotten all kinds of things, and they send it straight to you. The shipping is hassle-free. It's free as well. You don't have to deal with anything with all that. Don't miss out on early Black Friday deals. Head to wayfair.com. Shop now. Wayfair's Black Friday sale for up to 70% off. That's WAYFAIR. Wayfair.com. Sale ends December 7th.
Shut it down! Let's go home!
Thanks for hanging out with us on Locked On Mavs, being part of the show, part of the Raccoon Squad. That's what we call our listeners, listening every day. We appreciate you for checking out the show and listening. We have the text line. Check the link in the description of the QR code to follow every single update, every single rumor, a bunch of just random thoughts. Isaac will do a Q&A on there. I'll do we'll do thoughts during the games and stuff like that. And every single rumor we ever see, we'll send you on that text line first. And that's the best way to help support the show as well. You get a couple weeks free, and then you can pay for it after that, and then it helps support the show. All right, Isaac. So you mentioned the trade right before, the Anthony Davis trade. And this is the one I think a lot of people have kind of like lumped onto because this Bulls team was exciting and fun and young at the beginning of the season. And then they lose 4 in a row. Now you're like, all right, well, do they want to steady the ship? Because the Bulls don't always do like the most rational things and moves. And the Mavs they're probably looking for a franchise that doesn't make the most shrewd moves necessarily. Why is Kobe White, Vooch, Herter all on expirings? Plus, like, let's say they give one first. They also have a Portland first round pick that they could throw in there too if you want to like they have all their own first, like you said. Why is that a deal that is your favorite one?
You're not getting 3 first round picks for AD. Like I know some of the value stuff for Anthony Davis is going to be really tough for Mavs fans to get. Yeah.
Unless they're the 3 first that like the Suns traded for that one first. Remember that you're like, like they traded 3 first for 1 first, but do any of those 3 firsts actually mean anything? You're like, you get weird firsts.
Just barring something just insane, like AD's camp not caring where he goes. You get a crazy team out there like a Charlotte or somebody. It's like, here's 3 firsts, give us AD. It's like something like that. But it's just not going to happen. Like if they get 2 firsts in a deal, I'm ecstatic. Like, but I'm expecting a collection of players. I'm expecting at least 1 player in that deal and a first round pick. I think that's probably what you're going to get at this point. Like, AD's 32. His contract is $54 million this year. He has a couple years left on it. He's extension eligible at the end of this year. Zach Lowe is making the biggest deal about that on his pod. He's like, no one's talking about this right now. That he's extension eligible for like 4 years, $200-something million. Who's lining up to give that to him right now? But I bet he's going to want it. And I don't blame him for wanting it, but he's not playing that much. And he didn't look incredible at the beginning of the season. So, that's where it's like, you don't expect to get 3 first round picks in this. And so for the Chicago deal, it's a chance to kind of help reset your cap sheets a little bit. You're getting Herter and Vooch to come off your books at the end of the year. You get the rest of the season to figure out, do you want to pay Kobe White long term? Do you want to? And I hope so. I love Kobe White. And I think he'd be a solid piece to keep around Coop. And then you get the first round pick in that. So I think that's, if you're prioritizing, what are you prioritizing when you're going after, whenever you're trading a guy like AD? That's what this new GM's going to have to decide. Is it long-term picks? Is it, hey, we got to have a good, like, young stud of a piece and like player in this deal? Is it win now players?
A win now player for Anthony Davis is kind of like, well, what's the point? I mean, you just kind of keep AD unless he really wants out.
Yeah, like, I mean, you can't do this because of where New York's at, but like if New York could and they're like, hey, we want a better defense, we want to swap Towns for AD, and it's like,
I would take that. At least Towns would play. That's where I am.
Yeah,
actually. Like
anyway, that can't happen. So I think Chicago, there's a bunch of different iterations. There's Pat Williams that they could put in a deal for that, but I'm not the biggest fan of his extension. I like Io a lot on their team. You're not getting Buzelis. You're not getting Josh Giddey. So outside of that, like, there's just some different guys. There's just a bunch of combinations that you can make something work with. Yeah, with Dallas.
Who's older, Kobe White or Brandon Williams?
Kobe White.
Kobe White is younger by like almost 100 days.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So that I wanted to put that in perspective because I think Kobe White is a player we talked about a lot, but he is still young and would be a player that could add to the future of this Mavericks team. Then you add a first round pick into your belt. I think that would be a decent trade. Give me another one. I
know somebody's yelling at us and they're like, "That's all for AD." I'm just being realistic. I don't think that's.
that's why we started the show like this. You're gonna be disappointed by what happens.
Yeah. So keeping in the same vein of like, all right. Who are some teams that like Rich Paul and AD would want to go to that if Dallas wanted to work with them while also getting like the best value that they possibly could? You look at Miami and Miami's like, we'll give you Andrew Wiggins, Norm Powell, Jaime Jaquez, and a first round pick.
Give it to me again. Norm Powell,
Andrew Wiggins, Norm Powell, Jaime Jaquez, and a first round pick.
That's a win now group kind of.
I know. I mean, Jaquez is only a couple years in the league, so that's a young piece. I like him a lot. You get a first-round pick from Miami. Norm Powell's an expiring contract at like $20 million. Andrew Wiggins is playing pretty good basketball, but he's kind of like a win-now guy, but he's at least a wing. I'm not in love with that, but that's the type of move. And for Miami, it's like, do you swap Wiggins for Terry Rozier in that deal, I wouldn't bet on it. Ching.
The odds would not be very good for that kind of deal to go through, I don't think.
I'd probably take the over. But
yeah,
I
but
just
under the rules in Texas, like I think it would be a whole different scenario for terrorists.
That's just the type of move, right? And like for them, they'd have to be convinced of like, hey, Bam and AD together in the front court, Tyler Hero. No.
Could you get
I
Khalil
feel like
Ware in the deal? Could we just?
I don't feel like. I mean, if you can get him, then yeah. Khalil Ware and a first round pick and Norm Powell and Wiggins. I mean, anyway, I'm not in love with that. I think Miami goes after Ja anyway. I'll give you the Zach Lowe one real quick.
Yeah.
And I'll save a couple for after the break. Zach Lowe said for the Clippers one, it's John Collins, Bogdanovich, Derek Jones Jr., and 1 or 2 first round picks in that. It's kind of tough. Yeah.
Yeah, adding John Collins, like another power forward to what the Mavs do. Like one of these trades, I would love for this trade to do a couple things. I would love for it to also like make the players on the Mavs make sense.
Yeah. Collins is more of an expiring contract in this deal, so he'll come off your books. You clear some salary. You bring Derek Jones Jr. back. Bogdan has another year on his deal. He hasn't been the best, but you are adding a first. I mean, heck, if you get 2 firsts in this deal, I think that's what you might have to decide on. It's like, would you rather have 2 first-round picks and a blah package of players, or would you rather have 1 first-round pick and then like a possible like young piece in the deal too? And coming up after the break, I actually have one of those trades that I think is pretty realistic.
Professional right there. Today's episode of Locked On Mavs brought to you by DoorDash. DoorDash. The NBA season is heating up. It's already here. We are living it all season long. DoorDash is the perfect way to keep fans in their bag all season long, whether you're watching the highlights of your fantasy team or just your favorite player, maybe on a team on the West Coast. DoorDash makes every game night even better. They have this new thing that they're doing called the bag drop. Every time an NBA player drops 50 in a game, DoorDash drops 50% of your order with Dash Pass the next day. Then you're automatically entered for a chance to win the ultimate bag, talking player-inspired drip, exclusive gear, stuff you'll actually want, and all kinds of different things you get. Not just food. You can get everything from snacks, drinks, headphones, ice, even socks, all delivered with DoorDash. You can get it. You have to be on Dash Pass to be able to do this deal. So next time somebody goes for 50 points in an NBA game, the next day, use that promo code NBA50. It's the letters NBA, then the numbers 50. The next day to get 50% off your DoorDash order with Dash Pass, plus your shot at the bag drop. Dash Pass members only 50% off up to $10 the next day after 50-point game with promo code. Terms apply. No purchase necessary. Ends April 13th. Open to U.S. residents 21 and older. Visit DoorDashInYourBag.com for details. DoorDashInYourBag.com. DoorDash in your bag all season long. FanDuel is also in the season all season long because FanDuel has all kinds of ways you can get in on the action and check out to see what they got. Do they have any? Do they have the Dallas Mavericks game for tomorrow? They do against the Clippers. We were just talking about a potential Clippers trade. These teams are playing. The Mavs are at home. Clippers have been terrible this season as well and not as injured as the Mavericks. And the Mavs are a 4-point underdog at home, so they're +4 in this one. FanDuel has the deal right now. If you're a new customer, you can bet $5, and if you win, you get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. So if you're confident the Mavericks are going to win, then put it on the +4 140, the money line for the Mavericks to win that game outright. And if you win that one, you get the money that you win from that and the $300 you get in bonus bets. So go check it out on FanDuel. Head to FanDuel.com to sign up and play your game with FanDuel, official sports betting partner of the NBA. Please gamble responsibly.
Shut it down! Let's go home!
All right, Isaac, we're talking about deals for Anthony Davis. We went through all the different reasons why this is going to be a tough trade, why it's going to be difficult to find suitors, why the deal coming back is going to be tough for Mavericks fans to deal with. And you've given a couple of that you've gone through, but give me a couple more you got.
So Atlanta has different iterations for this. And you're like, hey, why would Atlanta do this? If they just want to accelerate this thing, which they kind of did a little bit of like bringing in, KP, bringing in Luke Kennard, signing Alexander Walker. They got their young pieces. They're kind of taking that next step. They've played decently well without Trae as he's been out. So you're like, whoa. They got Dyson Daniels, obviously the young core there on the wing. So if they wanted to double down on defense and say, hey, instead of having like we want to commit to Dyson Daniels as our point guard with the rest of the guys in the backcourt. You could obviously entertain a Trae Young, Luke Kennard for AD trade, and the idea of Trae Young being in Dallas just feels so icky and weird.
He already was a Dallas Maverick for like 45 minutes.
We already have
a photo of him with a Mavs hat on.
A Mavs hat
on draft night. In
a weird way, it would his playmaking is setting up everything would be great for the guys now.
It actually would be good on this team. What's Cam Reddish doing? Do we know?
Well, T-Mac is on TV now, so he's on that path.
Cam Reddish was playing like overseas. I think he was playing like in EuroLeague somewhere. But if they could get him too, then all of a sudden you get the Luka trade back. Like you go way full circle.
So, but let's just say they don't want to get that crazy. And it's
Yeah.
like, hey, we want to keep Trae and do something of pairing Trae with AD, with Jalen Johnson and Dyson Daniels and these guys. They got some salaries. So Porzingis, Alexander Walker, you'd have to wait to December 15th, and Luke Kennard for AD, and then you flip Porzingis to like another team, like you call it Detroit and be like, hey, do you want to stretch to play with Duran? And it's like Tobias and a first round pick for KP, or it's you're just flipping him somewhere else, and you get a first from Atlanta in that deal too. So it's kind of hinged on like Kennard's an expiring contract, KP's an expiring contract, but it's kind of hinged on you're getting a first round pick with Alexander Walker, and you get your like point of attack defender.
Man, Alexander Walker's 27 years old.
I don't love this trade because I would love to have a better like young piece than Alexander Walker.
The Kevin O'Connor iteration of this one was Porzingis, Luke Kennard, Asa Newell, and first round picks. Like they threw Asa in there. Their first round pick.
I just wasn't the biggest fan of him at Georgia, but oh well.
It would be a young piece. But yeah,
young piece.
Alexander Walker definitely a better player for sure.
So anyway, I could see Clutch being like, hey, Atlanta, it's the East. They got a stacked roster. If he's healthy, like an AD, AD with the rest of those guys, like that's pretty dang scary.
Well, you're just like upgrading the Porzingis position for you. Like, in a big way.
Lack of shooter, but.
Do you have any of the Detroit deals? Because I don't know why they would do this, but it does.
I left him alone because I didn't like it.
That you didn't like the Jaden Ivey, Tobias Harris, Karis LeVert future picks, or the Ron Holland in there instead. It's basically like Jaden Ivey, Tobias Harris. So you get your young player in Jaden Ivey, the salary filler with Tobias, and then you fill it with the rest of somebody else like Isaiah Stewart, Karis LeVert, or whatever.
See, I didn't mess with Detroit. I didn't mess with Detroit or Phoenix. Phoenix because they literally have 0 picks to offer.
Yeah, what's
and
the point?
I'm not making an AD trade if I'm not getting at least one first round pick. Like, I don't care. Unless you're getting some like crazy good young player. But Jaden Ivey, he just missed the whole season.
He's just out right now. Means the same.
Yeah, so I didn't mess with Detroit because I don't know. I just don't see him doing that. I don't think Clutch would want to go there. Him and Duran together.
Did you see Did you see the Ringers deal with Sacramento?
Oh, no, I left Sacramento alone.
Zach LaVine, Keon Ellis, and a 2027 first. Which
No,
to me
please
I look like, and I was like, honestly, that's a good deal. But I don't know that Sacramento would do that unless they.
I don't want Zach LaVine. Really, we're gonna do this again?
How long ago was that? Was that 8 years ago that we did the Zach LaVine?
I do like Keon Ellis. There's some teams. Okay, well, I want to get some.
Sacramento's first in that one though.
Okay, that's not that bad.
I know. You're
guess.
like feeling with it.
But that's literally just hinged on, hey, you get that one pick. Because Zach LaVine.
Yeah, you get Keon Ellis is like an interesting role player. It was like you get a Najee Marshall.
Yeah. I'll say
who their team is not playing right now, which is weird.
Yeah. I wrote Raptors and Kings, please no. Because I don't like any of the Raptors packages.
You don't like the RJ Barrett?
No. Quickly. No. None of them.
Is that because he's from Duke and you can't deal with another Duke player?
Hornets, I put Y. Wizards, Y. Grizzlies,
So Hornets
Y.
is like, we got to move forward with LaMelo, and we don't have any way to do it. And then they've also got
You
all
want
these
Miles Bridges?
I do not. No.
I don't either. That's the only way.
That's not the only way they can make it work, right?
Unless you're going to combine like a whole school bus worth of players to
I was
make
gonna say, you got
54 million.
Yeah, you got Sexton making 19. Our boy Josh Green making 13 and a half. And our boy Grant Williams making 13 and a half.
Bye.
What is that's
right.
27 plus 8 plus 19. I'm getting close.
Let me give you two other ones, all right, with actual players attached here.
And then
Get off Charlotte's salary
you got Pat
cap.
Connaughton. Like we can take white players back now, so
You can't say that.
stop 30 minutes in.
All right, here's two teams, two trades.
Okay.
Do you want me to start with the Magic or Spurs?
Give me the Magic first.
Magic have obviously been underwhelming to start the season. What if they just want to go even more all in? It would be a clunky fit with Paolo and Franz, which I know Paolo's hurt now, and without giving up Bane either. And you want to form this like big four of those four. You could do a Jalen Suggs, Jonathan Isaac, Jet Howard to the Mavs for AD.
Interesting. That is the all we don't play games team right there.
Yeah, Jalen Suggs is obviously the main thing. You're getting back in this young player, really good defensive, point of attack guy. You're kind of locking that in. He's kind of like a Derek White type of player when he's healthy, but he's also kind of hurt sometimes. He's ramping back up from his injury. He's playing, but his minutes are going back up. Jed Howard, he's kind of a flyer, super young guy a couple drafts ago, but
he hasn't played that much for them. So
you'd also get a Mavs jersey with Isaac on the back.
Tell them your dream. Tell them
My dream. I want
For
a
how
Jonathan
long?
Isaac.
Since Jonathan Isaac was in the draft, which was the Dennis
Honestly.
Junior draft, wasn't it?
Jonathan Isaac in a Mavs jersey with his Mavs jersey next to the Devin Harris jersey. And then you have my name.
We would frame them. We would put them behind you. It would be your background forever.
It honestly would. It'd be my Twitter header. It'd be everything. Okay, here's the last one. The Spurs say, screw it. We just want to go all for it this year.
Got to push.
They got Fox back, obviously Wemby, and they don't want to give up. They make the call, and they're like, we don't want to give up we're not giving up Dylan Harper or not giving up Stephon Castle.
Yeah.
And they're like, can we make an AD trade? And that's when Dallas says, all right, give us Devin Vassell, Jeremy Sohan, Keldon Johnson, our own first-round pick back.
Let's go.
In which you gave it in that dumb Grant Williams, and to get Reggie Bullock and like that whole thing.
Yeah. Weird.
And another first. So you get two first. Well, one of them is your own.
Say you get a first and you get the swap removed. Basically.
Yeah. And then you get Devin Vassell, which I think is a good young wing piece to play alongside Cooper. Sohan, Keldon Johnson. You're like, why do the Spurs do that? The Spurs could then have a lineup of De'Aaron Fox, Stephon Castle, Dylan Harper or Barnes with AD and Wemby in the front court, and still have Dylan Harper, Cornette, Carter Bryant, Olynyk off the bench.
Champagny. Like the chance that AD plays with Wemby and to make that, I mean, you just defensively, that's the best defensive front court we've ever seen, right?
It'd be insane, to think about. So anyway, that would be the Spurs. I don't know if the Spurs are wanting, they probably don't want to cash in their chips on an AD type of guy. You're like, wow, do the Spurs have to do this now? They don't have to do this now. Like they can still keep on playing it slow. Zach Lowe threw out a Milwaukee one of like Miles Turner and Kuzma. I don't like that deal at all. I just don't.
Yeah, I don't know what that does for you.
I don't think Milwaukee does it either because you need spacing. AD's not really a spacer right now. And
how old's Miles Turner?
Oh gosh, I don't know. 29.
29 exactly.
Wow. It's just him and Kuzma are they provide the space for Giannis. AD doesn't give him that space with Giannis. I think that'd be kind of clunky. So,
but it would also be the best defensive front court in NBA history if they did that one though.
Prediction. I know we're running a little long. I think Chicago's the one that they have the most conversations with. I feel like Clutch is going to push for like a Clippers trade. The Clippers are doing bad right now, and I think that could be I think we could see something happen, and it's Ballmer, it's all of it. I could see them doubling down, and it's that Collins, Bogdan, Derek Jones Jr., and like 2 firsts for AD. I think that's a very realistic possibility. And yeah, Magic are probably like my dark horse in that, but the Warriors and Jimmy, things that have to go super south for Golden State, I think, for them to do that.
That'd be a weird fit here.
And I get the Phoenix thing. All right. If you don't care about first, then Phoenix has a different, if you count Malawach as a first, which is Cooper's friend and all the stuff, you could do something with Jalen Green and Dylan Brooks or Grayson Allen, and they just don't have first. So I like Malawach. I'm just, Jalen Green's contract and no first, it's kind of tough for me.
Literally don't have any first trade. The Clippers do have 2 firsts that they can trade. And so that's the difference in that one. We'll be back with more. We'll be back with a post-game show tomorrow to talk more about. Isaac has a one more thing talking about the GM search and more things like that. So go listen to that wherever you're listening and watching this. Check the links in the description. Guys, thanks so much for listening to Locked on Mavs.
Peace out.